All right. So being a social justice organizer, I think sounds a bit bigger than what it actually is in real life. So I think I became active in activism very loosely as an umbrella term in my teens, primarily around Israel-Palestine. But then when I went to uni, it became more around questions of migration and racism. And then later on in life, queer of color organizing with folks in Berlin. And in the New Zealand context, because it's a settler colonial context, that has been focused on Indigenous sovereignty, but from a migrant perspective. Social justice organizing for me primarily is actually work that you do that people don't see. So I always distinguish activism from organizing, as activism is this exciting thing that people can see, that you can maybe share on Instagram, but actually organizing for me has always meant stacking up chairs and cleaning up and making food and writing descriptions to invite people. So the work that isn't as glorious, but that maintains the nitty-gritty of organizing. So in the last few years, primarily for me, it's been around questions of racism really broadly, but that of course includes if you work with Indigenous communities that looks a particular way, or if you work with undocumented communities. So depending on where I've been, it's feed into these different aspects of trying to challenge and work with communities against forms of white supremacy and racism, from the very small levels to more macro levels that are structural and targeting state mechanisms, whether that be borders or policies like that, or in small communities, just trying to find ways for communities to care for one another, create consciousness, awareness, etc. So it often looks very different from context to context because racism is so context specific, but there's always this overarching logic that's kind of stayed with me ever since I've started being interested in it.